CaptureFlow AI is a website that allows you to stop creating content and start capturing it. It allows you to capture your expertise from video, voice, documents, or links and let CaptureFlow turn it into professional content that's ready to post. If this is your first time here, my name is Jay, and this is the Everyday AI channel where we teach you how you can use AI in your daily lives. So we're going to dive right into this here, and as you can see by the landing page, we've got some very interesting components and some really cool UI elements. So this platform allows you to take a video, voice, a whole bunch of different kind of assets and actually convert them into things like videos, carousels, graphics, and shorts. If we just go through this here, we'll be able to see the problem with current content creation approaches and how CaptureFlow actually provides a solution. So they can help you with more than just scheduling. It can help you with strategy, ideas, studio, posts, calendars, and analytics. There's a whole lot of things in here. I definitely recommend it to you all. And a big shout out to the team, Sean and Chris, for getting in touch. I think this is going to be an amazing platform, but we're going to dive right into this here, and we're going to go through this onboarding and see exactly what CaptureFlow has to offer for us. Okay, so I've just signed in. I decided to log in with my LinkedIn because that's where a lot of my professional persona already lies. And we actually still have the opportunity to connect social accounts and even adjust branding based on colors, styles, and we can actually use this to affect any video captions we create. So here, as you can see on the dashboard, we've got our streak, we've got a number of ideas generated, we've got some pretty useful cards so we can see an interesting metrics we can see at a glance. So we can get AI powered ideas for our content. We can actually start creating our first inputs using the AI powered studio. And then here on the left sidebar, we've got different things that we can begin looking into, like strategy, guidelines, and knowledge. So one of the first things I would actually remember is, or I would actually advise, is for you to connect your social accounts. So we can do this easily here. I'm going to click connect, and I'm going to start connecting my social accounts across different platforms. So right now you can connect your LinkedIn, but very soon you'll be able to connect to Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. And I've spoken with the team, and I know there's some talks to actually connect many more social media platforms as well. So for now, I definitely recommend connecting your LinkedIn and seeing exactly how CaptureFlow can immediately begin creating content for you and generating ideas that you can use to publish on LinkedIn. So I've now connected my LinkedIn, and I'm just going to start following these 6 steps to get started with CaptureFlow. So I'm going to click on this button here to start generating some content ideas. I'm going to click generate ideas, and CaptureFlow is going to begin analyzing my content strategy. I believe this will be based off of my LinkedIn profile, which I've connected, and it's actually going to start presenting some content topics that I can use to present myself in the best light for my audience on LinkedIn. Okay, so that took less than a minute, and as you can see, I've already got 10 ideas in total that I can start reflecting on and seeing whether I actually want to action these. But before we actually dive into this, we can actually add any custom ideas we want, and we can also join the CaptureFlow community by just clicking this button here on the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start scrolling down and seeing exactly what sort of ideas have been presented. So we've got my system for testing 20 plus AI tools daily. Wow, this is amazing. Definitely the kind of stuff I'd be posting. We've got another idea here, the hardest part about staying ahead of AI trends. Man, that is so relatable. Cool. And then we've got another one called stop training employees on AI, start showing results. Amazing. I love it. You know, my approach whenever I'm consulting for the biggest corporations in the world is don't just use AI for the sake of it, but use AI to get very specific scope bound results and outcomes, right? It's always important to start off with the problem before you start off with any sort of AI tool. We've got a 5-step framework to introduce AI without team resistance. Very important. I'm actually very keen to look at this and see what it actually says inside there. And then we've got the AI skills gap is widening, what companies must do in 2026. This is amazing. This is exactly what I need. I think this is the perfect sort of topics for my articles and potentially even carousels that I'll be creating. And I've just realized, of course, here on CaptureFlow, I don't even necessarily have to go into another platform or another interface to create these sort of media assets. I can do it all in-house right here. So we've got how one exec saved 15 hours weekly with AI. Now this can be a great scaffold I use for one of the many case studies I actually have of my clients saving time. We've got the 5 AI tools I recommend to every executive. Just scrapped an AI workshop for 200 executives. Okay, this could be an interesting one. Client wins, so team cut meeting time by 40% with AI, lovely stuff, and how VP reduced email time by 60% after our workshops. Okay, so the first thing that stands out to me, which I like, is the clean interface and the fact that we've already got these ideas tagged, right? So it's easy to actually sift through them. We can easily just select them and start, doing different things with them. Let's say there are some ideas that you really want to focus on, then you could potentially delete any of the other ones that aren't interesting to you. But I think that's going to be quite difficult because they all seem quite relevant. I like the fact that these aren't generic and these have been very much tailored to my LinkedIn profile and how I want to come across as a professional before I actually get on a call with a corporation, educating them on how they can use AI for research, communications, and automation. So I was really pleased with those 10 ideas that CaptureFlow has just generated. I'm going to get back to this getting started list of things that I can do, and I'm going to create my first input so I can use CaptureFlow's AI-powered content studio to actually start bringing these ideas to life. Now, what's going to be difficult is to choose the one idea that I think would be best for this example. You could also just start freestyle recording, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that you can just immediately begin recording on this platform as well. I think the one I'm going to choose is what looks the most relevant. Right now, I think what I will say is stop training employees on AI, start showing results. I'm going to click that, and then I'm just going to click start recording here. And essentially, I'll be able to record this content with 5 interview questions here. Okay, great stuff. So CaptureFlow is now requesting to use my camera and my microphone. So I'm going to jump on camera and see exactly what CaptureFlow has here. Okay, so I stopped that interview just after about 3 minutes, but that was unbelievable. I haven't had an experience like that before. I actually thought I would just be recording myself going through the questions, which is why I started speaking, but it's so refreshing to hear that there's someone on the other end who's actually prompting me to answer these questions so I can create the best possible content. You know, like I always say, we prompt these models so that they can prompt us to take better actions in the real world. Okay, cool. I certainly hope there's a way to improve that thumbnail, because that's certainly not the most flattering image of me, but we can see here that this video is being finalized, and as we can see, it's already being tagged as well. So this, I have to say, I have not encountered any tool like this out of the 300 plus tools that I've recorded publicly. Of course, privately, I've looked into over 1,000 tools at this point, simply in the process of researching. But yeah, this is definitely an amazing feature of CaptureFlow that I haven't seen anywhere else. So now we've actually completed that other step on this list of items to do to get started. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into customizing branding. And what we can see here is we can actually start processing video shorts and configuring exactly how that will be done. So we can configure captions, we can select the silence thresholds for removing silences. This is amazing. I really love this, especially because, you know, back in the day, I've been a professional sound engineer for, you know, almost a decade now. So being able to see things like this that are very specific is you know, amazing. This is some really great stuff. We've got zoom strategies as well as intensities. You can even remove bad takes. Wow, you guys have really outdone yourselves here. This is really cool. We've got the video captions, we've got carousels, quote images, pictures that we can have as well. Of course, these are features, as you can see, that will be coming soon with regards to the carousels, quote images, pictures. We can also immediately start tweaking the sort of colors and typography for any AI generated infographics, and we'll have different sort of writing style guidelines coming soon. So yeah, this is really amazing. I'm a big fan of this. I'm just going to save those changes for now, and then we're going to head back to the dashboard. And lastly, we've got scheduling content. Okay, so the final thing to do here on this list of items in this getting started column is to schedule the content as well.
I'm actually pleased to announce I've launched one of my first digital products, which is a 7-day prompting ebook. I've called it Perfecting Prompts, and it's essentially a 7-day crash course on how you can improve your prompting so that you can supercharge your productivity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the link to Perfecting Prompts below. I put in a lot of work into it, and in there I actually include some frameworks that I teach to global corporations. Definitely check it out.
So here we can quickly view all posts. We've got a calendar here. As you can see, I haven't scheduled any events yet, but if I click on view all posts, I'll be able to see we haven't got any posts just yet. If I click generate a post, right, I can actually click on this video that I've just recorded once it's finished finalizing. So I'm just going to wait for this video to finish finalizing, and then we're actually going to start scheduling it onto the calendar. Okay, great stuff. So now that video we just captured has been finalized. That only took a couple minutes, and I'm just going to click generate posts and see exactly what happens here on CaptureFlow. So we can see a transcript, we can see a summary of it, which is going to be on the way. So we can also see some key takeaways, which will be coming soon, and some key quotes as well. So from this transcript, we can actually see exactly what it was said. Of course, I could copy and paste this back into CaptureFlow and actually use it to generate some more content. I'm going to click on generate posts, and we can even generate an infographic. I think that's what I'll do. I'm keen to see what this infographic looks like. I always think, you know, to myself, the beauty and the wonder of these language models and AI in general is that it allows us to represent, or as I like to say, represent information in multiple different formats and tailor it to a wide variety of audiences. I myself am a massive fan of infographics, so I'm pretty keen to see exactly what CaptureFlow is going to give us here. Wow, this is amazing. I want to post this everywhere immediately. So we can actually see here that we've got this sort of framework infographic. We've got stop training, start showing results, the AI implementation framework that works. So map your workflow, inputs, processes, outputs. Wow, find friction points, right? Time sinks, and oh my God, this is amazing. Time, energy, attention, and money. It's an acronym I use often because these are the only 4 things I believe we can control. And when you actually spell them out, they conveniently spell team. In this case, I use the word capital, but this is still quite impressive. Identify where resources are wasted. Ask this question: what's the workflow? Analyze the core process first. Cut speech theater. Oh, I love this. I love this so much because, the ethos I live my life by, both professionally and personally, is only action is truth. So I'm going to click accept here. And we're going to take a look at this infographic. This is truly amazing. I haven't seen a platform like this anywhere at all. So we can see the infographic was accepted and has been moved to drafts. So if I actually want to take a look at that, I'm just going to go back here. I'm going to go on to back to the dashboard actually, and then I'm going to take a look at the pieces of content that's been created. So here I'm just going to go into, I think I need to go into posts, of course, and then I can actually take a look at this draft. And then I can also immediately, oh wow, it's even given me a LinkedIn caption for it as well, and a LinkedIn preview. Dang, you guys have really outdone yourself. This is my first time actually experiencing this on this platform. I can immediately schedule it, pick the date, I can save the draft, or I can schedule it right away. I am absolutely blown away, I have to say. This is amazing, guys. And that's all the tasks in this getting started section here done. So if I want to, I can basically just go back to the post. I'm going to click schedule post, and I'm actually going to schedule it for today is the 27th. What I'll do is I'll schedule this on Sunday evening. Just a quick bit of advice. That's often where a lot of key decision makers and influential people in companies actually go on LinkedIn, because of course they're trying to get a head start on the week's work ahead. So I often like to post articles Sunday evenings, right? Because if you imagine their sort of lifestyles, what would they typically be doing? Of course, I imagine the families, all just relaxing. They're not necessarily being hounded for a bunch of things, and they just want to get ready and prep themselves for the week. So I'm going to schedule it for Sunday at 7 p.m. I'm going to click schedule, and then this should immediately schedule it to my LinkedIn. So I should be able to actually have that post go out automatically without me having to post it manually. Now, if we go back to the dashboard, we can see that's everything in the list of things to do to get started with CaptureFlow. Now, I think the results speak for itself, right? I don't like to go on like I've said before. I like to think only action is truth, and the actions you can take here with CaptureFlow are certainly, truthfully outstanding. As someone who's been reviewing and researching hundreds, actually more accurately thousands of AI tools, this is one of the best I have seen, because it's allowing you to put research and the creation of content and communication on an automated flywheel that still leaves humans in the loop and in the lead. I can't big this up enough. Thank you guys for making this, and I can't wait to see how much value you all get from CaptureFlow. Take care and have a wonderful day.